Good morning, Houston. KHOU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro. Here's the latest look at satellite and radar. We're seeing these storms really picking up in intensity. Heavy downpours, lots of flashes of lightning for southeast Texas. The number of lightning strikes over the last 10 minutes, 37. I'm paying close attention at the distinction between negative and positive strikes because if we have a higher count of positive strikes, it means these storms are intensifying. Why is that? Positive strikes come from the top of the thunderstorm cell. Negative strikes come from the bottom. So if they're from the top, they have a longer distance to travel and they have more intensity. Notice how this quadrant of the viewing area, the southwest portion, has a lot of that radar filled in with those pockets of heavy downpours and electrified storms close to Mission Bend there in Sugar Land and all down 288. Those are the areas that have the highest likelihood of seeing severe storms. So I'm going to be looking at hail tracks all throughout the late morning into the early afternoon. And we did see a cell that likely produced pea-sized hail as it traveled from Wharton closer to Needville, and then it dropped off on its hail signature. That's the area that right now has an active severe thunderstorm watch. It means at any moment some of these thunderstorms could grow in intensity and warrant a severe thunderstorm warning. If you have the KHOU app downloaded, we'll be able to send those alerts straight to your phone. That watch is in effect until 1 o'clock. It includes Fort Bend, so areas like Sugar Land, Richmond, Alvin. It includes Brazoria, Matagorda, Wharton, and Colorado County too. This is another cell that I'm paying really close attention to right now in Mission Bend. Notice these signatures there with the deep reds, even the purples. When I see reflectivity that is that strong, it signals the potential of some hail here soon. At least it is very blinding rain. So I'm going to slice up these storms and see how tall they are right now. The convection is at 30,000 feet, so I don't think tall enough to be producing hail just yet. However, as this continues to grow, if I see it getting to 40,000 feet, 50,000 feet, that means there is enough lift to produce some hail cores. We're all under the threat of seeing severe weather, and the biggest threat for today is going to be the potential of those hail producing storms. That is sitting at 15%. So let me walk you through the timetable of these storms. That's what we're seeing this morning. It continues through the 10 o'clock hour. Another round of showers, this time closer to the city center and lifting northward. We could see some of those isolated thunderstorm cells from Brenham down to Katy. That's a snapshot at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we take a little bit of a break. I think the coverage really diminishes by the 5-6 o'clock hour for a few hours. And then we'll watch the next round of storms. That's going to be for our far northern cities and counties. This band looks to come in during the midnight hour. So Huntsville, Bryan College Station, pushing towards Livingston. You could see some strong storms again with some gusty wind. They'll clear out by very early Friday, and then we'll wind it down. But for the time being, we're actively watching the severe weather threat. All three of these are on the table. The hail chance, again, 15%. The strong wind potential, meaning gusts above 58 miles an hour, is at 5%. And then the tornado threat isn't 0. It's at 2%. And we could see an isolated spin up mainly along the coast. Jen, what are you tracking on the roads?
Well, you know, heavy conditions, obviously those wet roadway conditions. We haven't had as many crashes, I would think, so maybe a lot of you staying home. But if you are having to head out the doorway, did want to take your eye to the left side or to the west side of town. Mission Bend coming in on the West Park. Very heavy rain right now, especially along Highway 6, Katy Freeway. Slow and go, as you would imagine, from 99 basically all the way into Hedwig Village. Southsiders, Angleton, there's a big maroon cell here just west of 288 impacting parts of 35. Also Needville, heads up, lots of rain hitting your area. We'll scoot back into town. This is the South Loop right near NRG. You can see that if you're driving 90 between the Beltway all the way into the Med Center, it's going to be slow going, and that cell is definitely moving into town and closer into the heart of our city. Right now, East Freeway, this is brake light activity at Gregg with the tail lights that you see hitting the downtown area, traveling in from the east with the skyline in the background. No crashes to tell you about on the East Freeway, but it's just been stop and go. Katy Freeway looking at Bingle, long line of traffic as I warned you about earlier. The only thing that I did see, Southwest Freeway, a minor problem popped up inbound at West Park. It looks like this vehicle with its flashers on the left side is going to be a little bit of a distraction, and there's also that curve. So remember, you want to ease up on the accelerator if you're coming in from the Sugar Land area. Local drive times right now, Sugar Land, you are looking at 51 41 minutes into town. Katy is one of the longest drive times, but I'm not surprised at an hour and about 10 minutes to work your way in. Clear Lake, 41 minutes. LaPorte, you are doing really well. 225 sitting at a mere 14 minutes.